In this episode, I walk you through our proven process to creating your own personal systemization plan. That is an ordered list of stuff that you need to get off your plate right now to save you the biggest amount of time. Doing this will help you avoid one of the most common mistakes that people make when they start outsourcing their work that just leads to further overwhelm and stress. And in this episode, I'll explain what that is and how you can avoid it by following these steps. So the question is this: how do entrepreneurs like us who don't have an endless supply of cash, how do we leverage the best apps, virtual assistants, automation tools and systems to scale our businesses, increase our profits and have more time to do what we love to do each day? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. My name's Dr. Steve Day and this is Systemize Your Success. Okay, so now we're going to talk about how you prioritize what you need to outsource first. Now, what you need to outsource first is totally different from what anyone else needs to outsource first, because what you do in your business right now is unique to you. This is all about creating your personal systemization plan. That is a clear plan to be able to get you from being that person who's running around doing absolutely everything in their business and just basically spinning too many plates and feeling like a bit of a headless chicken, to being that person who is organized and delegating. So you have headspace and time to think and plan and strategize and to commit time to do your highest income generating work to make your business a success, and really importantly, have time to delegate effectively to get other people to do all the other stuff for you, so that still gets done while you're then focusing on your higher value stuff. The key thing here is that we want you to free your time first. Free your time to have the headspace and the time to do all the high value stuff, yes. Free your time to put your business plan into place or to create your organization charts and think about KPIs and all that really important business stuff. But also to free your time to think about what else you should be doing in your business. If you start this process of outsourcing and think, okay, great, I need a new website or I need to do more social media, but you're not currently doing that right now, then that's just going to add additional work to your already busy workload and you're going to end up being even more overwhelmed. So the point of the personal systemization plan is to look at the actual work you're currently doing and think, okay, of those tasks, what can I get off my plate right now, so that I have more time to think about all the other stuff in the future. And that's the key take home. We're going to free your time first. So when you are actually doing stuff, there is right stuff to do and there's stuff that probably you shouldn't be doing. So this is the Eisenhower Matrix, and it was developed by the President Eisenhower to try to relieve some of the pressures of workload in the workplace and increase productivity. And if you have this in the forefront of your mind before you start any task, it's a really useful way of actually filtering out some of the noise in your busy day. So first of all, you have the important urgent tasks. This is stuff that you just have to do right now. You know it's super important and there's no way you can avoid doing it. So you just got to get on and do that. Then you got the stuff that you really need to do, but it can probably wait. And then you can decide right now when you're going to do that in the future and put a plan into place to get that done. Then there's the stuff that you do need to do. It's not as important, so you can give that to somebody else to do. They can get on with it, and it's going to take a bit longer than it would have taken you to do it, but it's going to get done pretty soon. And then you got the stuff that you probably should never do. Now, I actually put this into a bin I call the someday list, and I keep this in my task management app. And that means that it's always there, so I can go back to it and see, okay, I had that idea, last month or last year, whatever, but it's not in my head. So I'm getting stuff out of my head and down into somewhere where I can refer back to later, but it's not invading my headspace and getting in the way of the stuff that I should be doing. Now, one of the key take homes is that when you start out, you may not have anyone to delegate to. So it's going to be you basically doing everything, whether it's urgent or not urgent, or not important and important even as well. But the point is that as you identify some of the tasks that you're doing on a recurring basis, the stuff that is important, you can think about, okay, if I could put a plan into place to be able to delegate this in the future, I can then delegate more of my stuff more quickly. And therefore, you have less for you to do, and therefore more time to do your important urgent stuff. And in fact, when you start putting processes into place, when you put systems into place, a lot of that important urgent stuff will disappear because it'll be automatically done by people or systems or automations in your business. That reduces the workload on you and makes it much easier for you to focus on the really high value stuff in your business. So when you start doing your work from now on, what I want you to try to do is to actually only focus on your important urgent tasks right now. That's one of the key things. And decide when you're going to do the non-urgent, very important stuff. And that way that will become urgent at some point, because the timeline will get closer, and therefore it becomes urgent because you need to get it done. So you're not going to miss anything out. You're just going to prioritize what you do right now. And then when you do stuff, you're going to just track what you're doing, how long you're taking over tasks, what are the recurring tasks you're doing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, how long are they taking you over a week or a month. And I'm going to give you a couple of apps you can use, or an app, you can use to track your time really easily. So once you've got that information, you know what tasks you're doing and how long they're taking you, we can then create your personal systemization plan. So you know, if I was to outsource task A, it's going to save me 5 hours a month for the rest of my life. That's a really important thing to get outsourced. So therefore I can create a system or create a process to get someone to do that for me, and then it actually disappears off my plate altogether. I never have to do it again, and therefore I can focus on other important, urgent stuff. So tracking your time, you can use a spreadsheet to do this, and this is what I did in the beginning. Just create a spreadsheet, write what task you're doing, and then how long it's taking you. The next task, how long that takes you. And then when you do the same task again, just add the next time in the next column on the row. So then if you get a long list of all the time that's taken you to do that task over a given time period, you can add that up, and then you've got a total. Really simple. I then started using an app called Toggle, which I think is a brilliant app. It's across all devices, so mobile phones and different operating systems. And you can basically use it to track your time. And you just click start when you start doing a task. If you get to press start, no problem. You just add it as a manual entry afterwards. And this allows you to then quickly get a list of all the stuff you're doing and how long it's taking you. Now, I want to stress one point here, that some people really struggle with this. They struggle with actually tracking their time, or finding the time to actually remember to track what they're doing. Now, I was one of those people, and I really struggled with this. So I actually ended up setting an alarm to remind me to actually track my time. And often I just forgot totally. Don't beat yourself up about it. It doesn't matter. The point is that by getting into the habit of doing this, it will become easier. And the hidden benefits of actually tracking your time is you become more conscious about the stuff you are doing. And it enables you to focus more on your really important stuff, because you've actually got to hold yourself accountable for everything you write down on your list that you've done. So it's a really good way to actually improve your productivity without actually changing much about what you're doing. You'll automatically start doing important tasks when you've got to actually write down what you've done. Now, if you miss a day, don't worry about it. If you're out and about and you're doing various stuff, don't worry about it. The point is, you're trying to track the stuff that maybe you're sat in front of your computer, you're doing on a regular basis, and you add up which of those tasks are taking me the longest. It doesn't need to be absolutely militant. And the point of this is to really give you a really good idea of where you can save the biggest amount of time. If you really struggle with this and you just can't get your head around it, just crack on and make a mental note of the stuff you're doing each day and try and document that somewhere, just so you can actually think, yeah, if I got rid of that, it would really help. That's the key to this. Yes, we can do it the perfect way and create your nice personal systemization plan. But the point is, you just need to identify tasks that are taking you a long amount of time are important to outsource. But more importantly, the easy tasks to outsource are the ones you should go for first. Because when you start now, everything's new. So you're going to learn how to record your work in a really effective way, how to get someone else to document that for you, how to then delegate that, how to use task management apps. So there's loads of new things to take on. So you don't want the burden of having to think about, oh, how am I going to outsource some really complex, long-winded, multi-step process? So you want to start with the easy stuff. Even if actually maybe it doesn't save you that much time, that's actually better to outsource those first than worrying about how on earth am I going to outsource something that's really complicated. As you're doing this, you're going to learn. You're going to get better. You're going to learn. You're going to build your skill set on how you delegate, on how you actually get people to do your work. And as you then improve, the stuff that you thought was difficult now will probably become easier in the future. Now, there's a few tasks that maybe you just do and you're never going to do them again. So that wouldn't be worth outsourcing. So for example, I installed a screen recording app or reinstalled a screen recording app. Now, it's a one-off task. I don't ever have to do that again. It's not something that in my team are ever going to have to do probably. And therefore, I probably wouldn't even think about actually getting that or outsourcing that task. So you can get rid of stuff that really is just one-off or stuff that only you can do right now. And actually, if only you can do it, it would probably fall into the really complicated stuff. And so therefore you wouldn't be thinking about it to begin with anyway. So you're going to focus first on getting rid of either the stuff that's taking you a long time and is easy, or it's not taking so much time, but it's easy. The focus is on the easy stuff now. As I said before, as you develop your skills, as you do this more and more, you'll get better at this and you'll be able to actually see how you can outsource more stuff. And then you can think about the not easy stuff and therefore think about, okay, getting rid of the stuff that's not easy, but it's taking a long amount of time. And then finally, maybe never, think about the really difficult stuff that isn't actually taking a long time because it's just stuff that you really need to do. So that's it. That's how you're going to create your personal systemization plan. As I said, you can use Toggle, you can use a spreadsheet, or you can just note down, look, I did this task 6 times this week. It's taken me a long time. I can think about, I could probably get someone to do that for me. That's the stuff to go for first. Don't overthink this at this point. You can come back to this and track your time later. We have clients that start, they don't track their time at all. They get through, they start outsourcing some stuff. Then when they've got a bit of headspace, they go back and do this. And they see the value in it later as well. They still get massive value from it. I track my time now. I still get massive value. It keeps me focused. It keeps me doing the right stuff at the right time. And it also means I can actually keep track of, is there stuff that I can actually get rid of off my plate, which I'm currently doing and I shouldn't be doing. So it's something you will come back to in the future. And as I say, just crack on. The main thing is identify some easy tasks that are taking you a fair amount of time. And that's all you need to worry about. Thank you so much for joining me and listening to this episode. I'm well aware there are hundreds of great business podcasts out there and you chose to listen to this one, and for that I am truly grateful. Hopefully what you heard today took you one step closer to building a successful business so you can share your passion with the world and serve an ever-growing number of people. If you got value out of today's episode, then so will someone else that you know. By sharing with others what has helped you along your way, you will grow your influence and be the guy or girl that everybody wants to know. So please hit the share button right now, and also remember to subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss future episodes. It's impossible for me to cover absolutely everything in these podcasts, so please do head over to systemizeyoursuccess.com right now and download the show notes, transcriptions, and some of my best frameworks and systems for free. Thanks again for tuning in and being a part of this amazing community. Until next time, this is Dr. Steve Day, and you've been listening to Systemize Your Success.